Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am excited to be on my couch for a variety of reasons. One, because I am officially done traveling for the month, so it feels so good to be home and just like unpacked and not living out of a suitcase anymore. And two, because I really enjoyed filming my last video on here and I'm happy that you guys enjoyed it too. So I thought I would hop back on here because I just got back from a really fun girls trip where we had so many cheese boards and my poor skin is so broken out. So I thought I'm gonna stay away from doing a makeup tutorial today. I have like very minimal makeup on and just a red lip to sort of distract you guys from the jet lag and the redness in my skin. But I thought it would be good for me to do something where I can just sit and talk casually to you, and I wanted to share what I brought in my makeup bag on both of my trips. Sometimes it can be really hard to pack for a trip, and I found that what I brought was perfect for sort of everything. In fact, maybe I brought a little bit too much, but it's pretty like bare minimum. It didn't feel like a lot, and I was able to wear it in a variety of settings, which I think was great. And both of the destinations that I went to were very warm, so this makeup sort of lasted in the heat, which is great. So in case you guys are going anywhere in July or August or whenever during the summer, I thought that this might be helpful for you to see what I brought and give you some inspiration of what you should pack. There's definitely no need to bring makeup on a vacation. In fact, sometimes I don't, but I felt like I wanted to for these two vacations because I knew I was doing some nice dinners or going out to see people, and so I sort of packed a variety of things that could either go from daytime to night, from light to heavy, and all that. So let's get started. But the first thing I want to share with you is actually the bag that I ended up bringing. I brought this Beauty Heroes makeup bag that I actually got at the event, and I was really happy that I did because it actually has a lining in it, so in case anything actually spills or whatever, you don't have to worry about it. And it's also a little bit bigger. I didn't fill it up at all. It was only about like this full, but it's a little bit bigger, and so you can fit more, and I can actually fit tools that I wanted to bring. I always try to have makeup where you can apply it with your fingers and just like get the job done and go out the door. But then I like to bring tools in case I want to do something a little bit more precise, or we're going out somewhere super special or fancy and I really want to spend that time getting ready. So this was great to sort of have that variety and be able to have everything in one place, and I just popped it in my suitcase and it was just easy to pull out, and then I knew exactly what was in here. The makeup look that I'm actually wearing today is using all of these products. I didn't want to unpack it before I did this video, so I just decided to keep everything in here, and I've just been using it to get ready. But starting off with base product, I have about 4 base products, and that for me is the most of any product that I brought, because if I'm gonna do my makeup, I like to have a very clean, fresh base. And on top of that, my sunscreen for my face is always in my base. So the first thing that I brought is the 5-in-1 Suntegrity Natural Moisturizing Face Sunscreen. This is SPF 30. I've talked about this a lot. I'm gonna link the video that I talk about it more, but basically this is just a great, very lightweight SPF with a very slight tint, barely any coverage, so it does just feel like you're wearing an SPF. It doesn't look heavy or anything on your skin, and it just sort of gives you a glow. So I wore this every day mostly for the sun protection, but it also is nice to sort of have a glow to your skin, and there are skincare ingredients in here that keep your skin moisturized and feeling healthy and dewy and fresh. If I wanted to wear the Suntegrity, but I wanted a slightly fuller coverage look, or after like the 5th or 6th cheese plate, if I had a spot or two, I ended up bringing this Hint Beauty Duet Concealer, or Duo Concealer. This is in the shade Light, and I really love this concealer. In fact, when I'm home on an everyday basis, these two are the products that I use if I'm gonna be wearing makeup, like just out and around. I just find that the combination of these two works really well for my skin, and I like the way that it looks. This is slightly matter than this, so it does help with a little bit of the dewiness, but then I always usually set with a powder just to lock everything in place. But I was definitely happy to have this concealer, and because it was so hot where I was visiting, it was nice to have a very light base and not feel the need to put on a full foundation. But because I knew we were going out, I wanted to bring one foundation that I felt like would do the job in the heat, in the humidity, and would just stay in place and be very low maintenance. This again is a product that you can apply with your fingers, and that is the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. I did a full review review on this. I love this foundation. It's some of the best, cleaner foundations that I've found. There is dimethicone in this. I've talked about that before, so that's a personal choice that you need to make, but certainly on special occasions, this is something that I like to pull out. We did go out a couple of nights and I wore this because I feel like it does give your skin that very smooth appearance, and it doesn't look too heavy on your face, which is something that I'm always sort of hesitant about with wearing a full foundation. I like when my natural skin shows through, so I'm happy that this is sort of like a middle ground where I can build it up to a fuller coverage, but it doesn't look cakey, but I can also wear it as a very light sort of sheer coverage, and it does everything I needed to do in terms of color correction, making my skin look smooth. It's still being glowy, and then of course it's staying in place all night, which is great. So I was happy to have this. I only used it a couple of times for special occasions, but it was nice to have the alternative if I wanted something a little bit fuller coverage and without SPF. The last face product, which for me personally is very important because I do tend to go towards dewier products, is a good face powder. And for traveling, I always like to bring a pressed powder because a loose powder, I worry like what if I open it and everything explodes, or just it could be a potential mess and I never know where I'm doing my makeup. So I think it's always good to have a pressed powder with you, and I'm using my favorite, which is the Lila B Flawless Finish Foundation in B Original. And this is technically a foundation, but I use it more as a setting powder and just do a light dusting over my face if I need it. This definitely isn't an everyday product for me. It's just on those days where it's a little bit warm or I feel a little bit shiny and I just want a little extra something to set everything in place. But definitely in the humidity, it was nice to have a mattifying product, and I do think that it's important to bring a pressed powder, not a loose powder, for reasons that I already said, but it just keeps everything a little bit cleaner and it's easy to throw in your bag and use on the go. In terms of eye products, I only brought 3 things, and these are just sort of like basic things that I felt like I would need if I wanted to wear them. I think I only wore mascara 1 or 2 days that I was gone, but that's okay. It's always good to have a good one in your bag. So I did bring my brow gel. This is the Dr. Hauschka Brow and Lash Gel. This is something that if I need something quick to make me feel a little bit more put together, I would do just to sort of tame my brow hairs and get them locked in place. I also brought an eyeliner. This is the Vapor Organic Beauty Mesmerize eyeliner in Truffle. This is my favorite brown eyeliner that I've found so far. I like that it really stays in place, and I appreciate that it sort of smudges and then sets for me and doesn't really transfer or move around. And then the last eye product that I brought, like I said, was a good mascara. I didn't really end up using it that much. This isn't a waterproof formula, and I do find that it smudges a little bit on me, so that's partly why I didn't use it, because of the humidity and heat. I was worried that I would look like a raccoon walking around, so I felt like it was better to avoid using too much of this. But this is the Prez Natural Almond Mascara. I really like the length and separation that this gives me, and also I feel like it does a pretty good job in terms of volume, but it does smudge a little bit on me, so I'm not sure if this is my favorite mascara, but certainly it does the job most of the time, so I'm still using it. I brought one blush product. This is a tiny little thing, and that's partly why I brought it, because it's so compact and easy to travel with. This is again a Lila B product. This is the Divine Duo Lip and Cheek Tint in Be Real. So technically you can use this on your lips, but I really only use it on my cheeks. I love this color. I mean, you can sort of see there's a big indentation where I've been using it a lot. This is a blush that I reach for a decent amount, mainly because of the color, but also because it has incredible staying power. It just really like latches onto your skin, and not in a way where you can't blend it or move it around when you first apply it, but certainly throughout the day it doesn't move around, and I still see it on my skin at night, so I know it lasts really well. And so this was sort of a product again for the heat that I felt like would be good to bring. I really like the formula they came up with for their lip and cheek tints or blushes or whatever you want to call them. It's very, very smooth and very, very easy to work with. So this is one of my sort of favorite products to bring with me and something I can always count on. I brought 2 lip products. One sort of a natural lipstick, which I never even ended up using, and the second one is this bold red lip that I'm using right now. They're both 100% pure. The first one is a fruit pigmented pomegranate oil anti-aging lipstick in the color Clover, and it's a beautiful pink color. This is sort of when I'm going to work or whatever, if I'm going to wear a lipstick. This is the one I usually reach for. It's very moisturizing and hydrating, and it sort of just looks like my lips but better. A little bit pinker than my lips, so it looks like I'm wearing something, but it's definitely a very light lipstick and feels very natural to me. And then the second one is a matte color. This is in the color Nopal. This is one of my favorite reds from 100% Pure. I'm wearing it today. It's sort of like an orangey red. It's very beautiful and it's just fun to wear, especially for summer. And one of the locations I was at, I was gone during 4th of July, so it was fun to have something red to even think about wearing. I don't even think I wore makeup on 4th of July, but that was my thought process behind it. And then the last thing I brought was just a little palette, and this is something that again is really fast and easy to go to. It's still one of my favorite palettes, and it's the RMS Signature Set in Pop. There's just a lot you can do with it. There's lip balm, which is totally gone at this point, but there's also one of my favorite highlighters, the Magic Luminizer from RMS Beauty. There's a beautiful bronze color that I like to use on my eyes, and then there's 2 lip and cheek colors. So if I was sort of on the go or I needed to bring something with me, this palette is usually what I bring. It's really easy to work with and good with fingers. The only complaint is that there's no mirror in this, so you do need like a bathroom or something to put this on. But I use this mostly for sort of eyeshadows and highlighters. I didn't really use the lip and cheek tints too much because I had that other blush and then those lipsticks, but certainly I could have gotten away with just bringing this and not the lipsticks and not the blush. And probably in retrospect, I should have done that because I didn't really end up using everything in here, but I was happy to have this with me. So pretty much everything that I just showed you can be applied with fingers, but I did bring a few tools that I thought I would share with you, and this is more if I wanted to like really do my makeup or really concentrate on getting it precise or whatever, and I wasn't just slapping something on my face. I always bring this one Real Techniques brush. This is called a Multitask Brush from them. I use this a lot for bronzer. I use it for powder. Just like the name, it is a multi-use brush and I use it for a lot of things. It's really soft and easy to work with. I've had this for a long time. I definitely need to update my brush collection, but this is something that I can always count on to do the job, and I just like having it with me because I can do so much with it. I then brought 2 eyeshadow brushes that can be used for other purposes. So I used a Real Techniques brush, and this is the domed shadow brush. This can also double as a concealer brush if you want to use it that way. And then I brought an old MAC 217. This was actually one of the like first makeup brushes that I bought when I was younger, and I've just kept it in really good condition, and so I still have it. I don't know if that's even sanitary, but it is a great blending brush and it makes eyeshadow go on very smooth, so I always feel like this is a good one to bring. I brought my Real Techniques sponge. This is something that I really only use if we were going out or something like that as a finishing touch, just to make sure that there's not sort of extra product sitting on my skin that could either crease or make me look cakey or whatever. I just like having this as a finishing step, and of course it really does erase any makeup mistakes that you make. If you put on too much blush, you can add a little foundation and then blend it out with this, and it sort of all melts together. I just feel like this is a great tool to have with you, and if I had to pick one tool to bring with me, it would be this, because you can use it for a variety of things. I could have used it for cream products, even put it on my eye with the smaller side, and then obviously foundation here, powder on the side. You can just do a lot with these little sponges, and this is sort of like the one thing that I'll always bring with me wherever I go. Lastly, I brought a pair of tweezers because you just never know. It's always good to have a pair of tweezers with you. This is great if you have any weird eyebrow hairs or whatever and you need tweezers, then I just think it's smart to have. The one thing that I wish that I did bring was actually my eyelash curlers. I really missed them when I was away because I wasn't wearing mascara, and I wish I would have brought these to give my lashes just a little bit of a lift every day. So I did miss these, and I was happy to come back home to them and start using them again. The last thing I always have in my makeup bag is just a makeup wipe. This is like a little travel version of a makeup wipe, and I always keep one in here because I think if you're traveling or you're at someone else's house and you need to go into the bathroom to go put on your makeup or whatever, it's nice to grab a full bag of stuff and just take it and not have to keep going back and forth or go into another bag to get something else. Everything's just sort of organized, and this is like the one kit that I need. This by no means is like a green product or an all-natural product. I actually got this at one of the places that I was staying. They had a few just left out for us, and so I thought it was really handy to grab them just so that I would have this. But I do use, oh gosh, what's it called? It's like the brand that's like Yes to something, and they're cucumber wipes or something like that, and those are also great, just handy makeup removers to have with you. I have a little travel size of that I'll also use, but this was nice because it was just a single pack and it was easy to throw in my bag here. That is my complete makeup bag. It is probably bigger than most people's makeup bag, but I like to be prepared. I like to have stuff, and definitely the places that I was going, I had a lot of events sort of to go to and special events, so I felt like it was important for me to have makeup that I felt comfortable with and happy using, and I knew would sort of perform the way that I wanted them to. So I was really happy to have this, and I was really happy to use this bag. It was sort of like the perfect size. I'd love to know if there's anywhere that you're going in the coming months, and if there's 1 or 2 products that you know you can't live without on a trip. Or better yet, let me know in the comments down below, if you had to bring 2 products with you on a deserted island, what would they be? I'm very curious to see your answers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this week there wasn't a podcast, and I apologize for that. I was so tired when I got back. I barely could even move. I was just like laying down the whole day with my eyes barely open. So I hope you guys understand, but I will have another one up for you very soon, so get ready for that. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe for 2 videos a week. I have some exciting new products that came in while I was away, so I can't wait to create a video showing you guys those. And otherwise, I think that's it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!